Okay, just want to make a quick video on the NBA game tonight. Um, First thing I noticed, interesting, the halftime score was 51 to 48. Cleveland hit a three, whatever, went up 51 to 48. And I just made a video about the Cleveland sports curse and how I don't think that Cleveland is going to win because of this curse. It wouldn't make sense. Because 52 is a big number and whatnot. But they scored 51 in the first half. And the last time that Cleveland has won a championship in professional sports was 1964, which is 51 years ago. Now, Cleveland did lose this game, but they also scored 49 points in the second half. But during the game, the announcers made it a point that when this game went to overtime, and I knew LeBron was not going to score because he had 42 points, and they weren't going to screw up that 42, even though they did later on. But they talked about this game right here, the 2001 NBA Finals. Game 1 went to overtime, the Lakers and the Sixers, and the Sixers won, and then the Lakers ended up winning the next 4 games. So it was a 5-game series. Even though the Sixers won the first game, they ended up losing the NBA Finals. And I'm still sticking with Golden State because they don't have a number 0. You have to have a Monstar. It's all about Space Jam. But if they don't do it, for whatever the reason, if somehow I'm not seeing why Golden State would be the Monstars, LeBron makes complete sense to be Michael Jordan as well. So they lost game 1. Make the big comeback. Kyrie Irving got hurt, just like all the Space Jam players. Every player got hurt, and then they had to bring in Bill Murray at the very end. Kyrie Irving got hurt, and he looks like he might not play the rest. I don't know. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. He's faking anyway, but who knows? Maybe some other players are going to get hurt. LeBron's going to come back and win the series. I just don't think it's going to happen because they have Kevin Love, even though he's not playing. I guess just want to point that out. I want to show both sides of it from a Space Jam perspective, I guess. But LeBron, I want to talk about this really quick. So Golden State at halftime had 48 points. And in this NBA Finals, Allen Iverson for the Sixers, and they won, he scored 48 points. And Iverson was born on 6/7, the same year that the Queen was 49 years old. And he just was in the news about, he was saying that if him and Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jordan were a big 3, they would win all 82 games of the season. Of course, I've talked about this before, but August 2nd would be 8/2, 214th day. That's Valentine's. Like I said, once again, 67 has been pretty big. It goes with 121 and 49, and he is born on then. And I know this is game 1, but anyway, LeBron, he had 42, and it was, I don't even know what it was, 30 seconds left roughly. And Cleveland had a chance to come down and win the game in the fourth quarter. And I knew when LeBron had 42 because they've surrounded him with 42 all season. 42, 33, they just put it around him a lot. I knew he wasn't going to make it, and it was going to go to overtime. And then I thought, man, no way he's even going to score in overtime. But, I went out and told my girlfriend I wanted to put it on Twitter, but I didn't do it. And good thing I didn't because he actually scored with 10 seconds left. He never scored all overtime. He looked terrible. But if you go back and watch it, he was doing things that he wasn't doing the whole game. Like, he was driving it in instead of shooting it. He was just like throwing it out, like just doing things he wasn't doing the whole game where he was dominating. But anyway, he ended up scoring 44 points, and that is the same amount of points that Michael Jordan scored in the Space Jam game. Also, Kyrie Irving got hurt in overtime, and he scored 23 points. Michael Jordan, whatever. LeBron is number 23, and LeBron scored 44, and Kyrie Irving played 44 minutes. And I only mention that because he wasn't going to play that many minutes. going into this. So it's, I mean, just kind of weird. And of course, Golden State had 108 points, and 10-8 is October 8th, and there's 84 days left until the end of the year, and LeBron James is born in 1984. And 8-4, August 4th, that's Obama's birthday, 44th president. He scores 44 points. The next game is also on June 7th, which is 6-7. And I've talked about this before. The Warriors had 67 wins in the regular season. They're up to 79 or 80 now, total wins of the whole season. And the Cavaliers are at 65. So if there was a game on 6-6, I would say the Cavaliers would probably win because they would be their 66th win on 6-6. But they don't play until 6-7. So go with the Warriors on the next game as well. Then throughout the game, they just brought up stats a lot, and they brought up this one, and they said this season versus Golden State. So they played them one time this season, the Cavs did, and LeBron scored 42 in that game, and then he had 42 points at the time. Like I said, he scored with 10 seconds left, so there's a reason that he scored 44 and not 42. I really thought he was going to have 42, but well, 42 and 42 is also 84, 8-4. But what was interesting about this little stat when they showed it up or whatever, the game before going, or when it went to overtime, the score was 98-98. And February 26th was when they played in the regular season, which is 98 days before June 4th. And then they showed this stat as well. And, I mean, whatever, 37, we've talked about that with the 88s. But what was interesting is right after this, they showed the stat, they mentioned that the most LeBron has ever scored in a playoff game was 49 points. So I was just trying to find the game that he scored 49 points in the postseason. It was last year when he played for the Heat. It was on 5/12. He scored the 49 points. So, whatever, but look up here. Look at when you type in LeBron James and all that, and you go to this page, it says ID 1966, year 2014, LeBron James. Why in the world, 1966, that's 49 years ago. Why? That's weird. I thought maybe it was just like every player or something, but like Steph Curry, it says 3975. So interesting. They show 1966 up here in the bar, which is 49 years ago on LeBron. And who knows, here's Kobe Bryant. It's 110. So I don't understand how they choose it, I guess. But pretty strange that LeBron was a 49 reference. But this leads me into a different picture here. During the game, they talked about the most career 30-plus point playoff games. And they had LeBron with 76, Jordan 109. Well, look what Kobe Bryant has, 88. Now, I talked about Kobe Bryant in a big, long video about his 81-point game being rigged, all kinds of things with Kobe. Just kind of interesting. He's had 88 30-plus point playoff games. So he probably won't have any more, that's for sure. I mean, especially when originally his number was 8, and then he changed to 24, which is 888. Last thing I wanted to point out, just to kind of prove myself wrong with the Golden State winning it all. That's basically what I'm trying to do, just see the other side of some things here. But so earlier I made this video about Stephon Urkel and Stephen Curry, because Steve wears the number 00. He's Infinity, and it's Family Matters, the TV show. But anyway, they're from Chicago, so I assumed these guys were red because of the Bulls. And they actually are playing, they're the Muskrats, which adds up to 122, which I've talked about tons. And they're playing the Warriors. If you go back here, you can even see they even look like the Warriors. They're the same color and everything. And then, but so Steven or Stephon is on the opposite team, so it's kind of confusing. But the red team I considered was the Bulls, but I never thought about Cleveland. See, I completely forgot that the Cavaliers also wear red. So interesting. Who knows? And like I said, it's confusing because Stefan or Steve, Stefan or Steve, whatever, plays for the red team. So he should be playing for the other team. So it's kind of confusing, but interesting that it's both of these teams, I guess. Well, I'm going to end it there, though. Anyway, I guess it seems to me that they could be doing the whole LeBron Michael Jordan theme in Space Jam, considering Irving got hurt and then LeBron's 23. I didn't realize some of these 49s that LeBron is around. And then, like, even on here, when the red team wins, they're losing too. And then they come back and win, just like Space Jam. Just making this video, I guess, to show these other things. And but I honestly still think that the Warriors are going to win it all. I mean, all of this stuff about LeBron, I mean, who knows? And Golden State still, like I said, the Cavs have a Monstar, and Golden State does not. And Golden State's surrounded by tons of stuff, way more than Cleveland. And they have Draymond Green, who is number 23. And the interesting thing, Green is 49, whatever. He's number 23. He went to Michigan State when Valentine this year for Michigan State made the game winner on Valentine's Day, the same day that all the Space Jam stuff happened on the slam dunk contest and whatnot. But what's interesting is that he wasn't even a starter last year. It was actually David Lee. So it just makes me wonder, like, what in the world happened to this guy, So they're definitely bringing in the green and making him a star, that's for sure. But I mean, David Lee can't suck. I mean, literally, he was like averaging like a double. I mean, so he got a hamstring injury. I think it was some type of weird injury. Nothing even that. Yeah, strained left hamstring. Oh wait, so he strained his hamstring and then he was out, and then Draymond Green took his place and stayed there. And David Lee, it says, is the highest paid player on the roster. So I mean, it's crazy that he's just sitting on the bench. He didn't even play tonight. So I don't know. Just whatever. I'm sticking with Golden State, but I wanted to show the other side of what might go on. So anyway, have a great night.